everybody, and happy Sunday evening to you. This is the YSN One Pop press conference, and we're open for business. Drinking a little Mountain Dew tonight, trying to get some extra energy. So, if you are not familiar with the way this goes, typically when we have some breaking news or some information we want to pass along in a pretty streamlined way. What we try to do is we have these one pop press conferences. So where we open it up to fans. We open it up to comments, to suggestions, things of that nature. Here on YSN, it just I mean there's no set time for these. I usually say when I get through the can of pop, but I talk a lot because I'm the only one here. So I usually don't get through it. So this will go on as long as you guys wanted to, kind of a state of the union here for YSN as we've made our way all the way through 6 weeks of football, the volleyball season, soccer season, the fall season, as it accounts to YSN. And the cool thing of what we've been doing and how things are changing was this past week we promoted 9.99 for all the games on YSN as opposed to just one of them, and it was pretty successful. We thought we added a significant amount of value to our broadcast. We as we always do, we take criticism and we take it. I don't want to say with a grain of salt, but we look at, and like I said on the promo, we read every tweet, we read every email, we read every message that we get. They're not all nice, and they don't have to be, but we try to grade ourselves out at one point in time during the week. Typically on during the weekend, Brian and I kind of evaluate. That being said, a little bit of breaking news here on YSN. We were given the state charges for the OHSAA state playoffs, and we want to give a tip of the cap to Spectrum for allowing us to come in and live video stream that, as we've been talking about for the last week or so on our shows and on our broadcasts and events. The numbers came out, and they were a little bit more than what we thought they were going to be. And quite honestly, it was a little bit surprising. We heard anything as low as $30 to as much as 175. And we were forwarded information and courtesy of the OHSAA for doing this. Um, it's $200 a game for us to do a live broadcast. And why that doesn't seem like a lot when you're doing upwards of 40 or 50 schools, it adds up, especially when everybody, the majority of everybody makes the playoffs and you add the chance to opt out. So what we're looking at is a significant bill for not only week one, but week two, week three. So this is where what we've been doing this entire time, the 9.99, the 25% going back to the schools. This is where that comes in because we were preparing for that. People are asking, why are we doing pay per view? Why are we charging? Because we don't want to charge you $30, $40, $50 for a playoff game, and that's kind of where things are as they stand right now. So I'll give you the heads up. We are going to do the playoffs. We're going to do the playoffs. We're going to send out an email tonight, and I know Paul's working on it tonight and tomorrow. That any team that wants coverage in the YSN coverage area, we're going to do it. We're going to do the games for them. So we're willing to bite the bullet for you because we know you're in a situation to where um, you're in a situation to you can't get to the games and you certainly can't get to all the games, and we're trying to really step up and come to the plate for you. As Billy Mack saying that the OHSA is weak for this, I mean it's a business. They're a business too. Was I frustrated? I was, but they're a business and they know that people like us will pay. Um, you know, I want to make sure that we thank our sponsors, number first and foremost. Thank the people that have bought the games and know why we're doing what we're doing, so we can do it for the kids, and the kids can have some a platform to stand on when coaches come to see, because coaches can't go to see their games, recruits and things of that nature. So this is the only way. So we are looking to do all the games. And again, we're going to leave it up to the schools naturally. We don't want to put them in a position where their budget comes into play, or do we do this or not. We've had a great relationship with all the schools, every one of the 52 that are hanging on the wall. at YSN headquarters, and we want to make sure that their players are featured, especially in the playoffs. I mean, one of these, our hope is that every team can actually go and win a state championship, but we all know that's not going to happen. We feel like there's a good chance for a few of our teams to make nice runs in the playoffs, and we're willing to back them. And I'm not here looking for a pat on the back or essentially, people. This isn't to point the finger at me or to us and say, look what we're doing. But I will say this: we're there. We're the only team that's going to be there from week 7 all the way through. So when you look at the end of the day, when you look at what um, we're doing it for you. And if 9.99 is too high of a cost, I can tell you this: we've got we've got a fantastic group that comes on Friday nights for the audible call, and they came to me and said, "Listen, because you believe in us, we believe in you. We're going to do 2 nights of the audible call." So the audible call that's presented by Luke Schuster, Isaac Schuster, and the boys over at Nationwide Mortgage, they're covered for 2 nights. You know what I mean? And it's going to be awesome. So um, if you feel like that 9.99 is a little too high of a price point, you can watch the audible call for absolutely free. And we set it up like that for people. I mean, I grew up a little bit of poor, you know, not my parents always made sure that I had what I needed, but I'm not sure that they'd be able to afford 9.99 when I was growing up a week to watch their son or daughter or niece or nephew or whatever the case may be. So we inserted that on purpose. That was a very purposeful step for us for the audible call, and people are calling it the red zone, and that's what it is. It's a high school red zone channel for for you guys or gals that are watching the red zone on Sundays. We did that with very little heads up, and I'm really 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 pleased on the way it turned out. It's really professional with Mike and Nick and all the guys that make that happen. Eric Oates behind the scenes, and all the guys and Anthony Hartwig that are calling out games. To me, that's probably some of our best work is the audible call, and we saw so much value in it that we provided it to our fans, YS Nation, absolutely at zero cost. So I want to make sure that you guys know that we're committed to this. We feel that this is the right decision to make is to keep covering the teams as we move forward, even though there is a steep price point to it. You gotta commit to something, and we've committed and said and loyal local live. Well, we're loyal to you. We're loyal to these teams, and if we decide that we're gonna you know say enough's enough because the price point's too high, then how loyal are we? So decision was made on the with the executive team tonight. We kind of let things go around the horn a little bit and said, okay, where does everybody stand? And there wasn't one person that said and meant that you know that we're going to throw in the towel. So I'm really proud of that. That's a testament to you. That's a testament to what we do at YSN, and I can tell you, I'm excited to tell you that we're going forward full force, and we're going to have some announced teams double up on nights because they want it. The veteran teams, you're going to see a lot more of them, and a lot of these teams, some of the travel might catch up to us a little bit, and we're going to hope that nothing's too far away. But we got teams that travel, and we feel like we're part of those teams, so we're going to travel with them. So I wanted to break that news to you tonight, and I appreciate everybody tuning in, especially on a Sunday night. I know everybody's probably feeling pretty good because that Browns game was incredible. So um, comments, I'm open for comments. If you guys want to talk, chime in. Kristen chiming in saying YSN is for student athletes, Coach SAA, not so much. Britt Taylor says, wow, that's crazy. Pointing again, you point at the OHSAA. I mean, they're a business too. And Tim Street was on our show on Friday, and I'm not trying to rip the OHSAA, but what I do want to say is we're committed. That's what I want you to take away from this is the commitment that we have to our schools, to our programs, to our student athletes. That's what we're looking to push forward. So, less about the OHSAA and how they make their money, and more about why we're committed to you. We all of this was drawn up on an experience um, basically that we had a week and a half to get all this started, and I want to give a lot of credit to our technical director, the co-founder of the company, Brian Scott, who a lot of long nights he and I had at the at HQ, making sure that everything was good to go. And obviously, nothing. I shouldn't say nothing. Not everything went the way that we wanted it to. With some of the issues that we had during the season and continue to have. But a lot of that is relying on internet connection. And I think if anybody knows anything about internet, you can't really rely on it unless it's in house. So when you get out to some of these stadiums, when you get out to open line stadiums where people are all using the Wi-Fi, we know we're in trouble. So we went out and again we made another big purchase and kind of building this plane in the air. We went out and bought the jetpacks. So sometimes the jetpacks don't even get reception, because of where they are and where we're located. So I want to thank everybody for their patience throughout the season. I know a lot of you have been frustrated at one point or another. We've had a couple announcer emergencies that we've had to cover because things come up, things happen. When you're traveling and things just happen. So my apologies are aplenty at this point. So want to make sure that everybody knows that we make mistakes, and like I said on social media, and I hope you follow me on social media. I'm not going to plug it, but I'm not going to be that cheap of a stooge. But you can find me anywhere you go on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to fail forward, but just as we've done in the 3 years we've been around, we're going to pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, adapt, overcome, and move forward. That's what we're going to do. That's what I believe in. I'm wholeheartedly never going to give up on this. I mean, they can. I don't want to say that. I want to say that they can give us whatever price point they want because at some point it gets a little crazy. And quite honestly, it's up there. Nick chiming in saying Murraysville 2 hours away. My 86-year-old parents got to see their grandson play. They are confined to their house, and YSN has changed a piece of their life right there. Thank Nick. Thank you. You every turn you're praising us, and I want to praise you. I mean that's why we do what we do. For situations like that, this is YSN is it's here. We're not going anywhere, and like I've said multiple times, it's taken some companies 70 years to get where we're at and what we've done in 3. So imagine where we're going to be at 5 years from now, 10 years from now. And the way that technology continues to get better and better and better, YSN is going to, again, adapt and conquer with technology. 5G comes out, the game's over. It really is. So wherever you're at, wherever you're going to be, if you got 5G and you've got YSN, you are covered from top to bottom. So that's really all I had to come on and say. I'm willing to take questions. We can talk about the Browns real quick. I know we've only been on for about 15 minutes. Don't want to make this real long because it's going to be an early morning and late nights all this week at the headquarters. Also wanted to let people know, make sure you go over to freshprinceyoungstown.com and order your YSN shirts. I mean, there's some really cool swag and gear out there for everybody to have. They've asked me how I get more YSN gear. We've got a couple new shirts coming out. Brent's taking care of that for us. So make sure you go over and support. We're trying to make sure that it's a really great local company that does a lot of really cool things and really creative things. So we want to make sure we give them the credit. Billy McCartney said, tune in to Power Hour 3. You might see some fireworks. Billy's fired up about this. I can tell you that right now. He is none too happy about this whole situation. How miserable was I while watching the Browns? I mean, there's this stigma that I don't like the Cleveland Browns. First professional football game I ever went to was a Cleveland Browns game. My aunt, Aunt Jen, I'm sure she's out there watching somewhere, took me to the Browns game, and we were like 2 rows from the field. So it was probably one of the better experiences I've ever had. And there are pictures out there of me wearing a Browns jersey. I think the first one was an Tim Couch, and the second one was like a Courtney Brown. But if I go to a game, I'm going to support it. You talk about loyalty, Billy, and we bust your chops all the time. I'm a Steeler fan at heart, but I'm not going to root against the Browns unless they're playing the Steelers. I'm not that guy. I like the rivalry. Not to bust the fans' chops, but man, Cleveland fans right now. It's everywhere I go on my timeline. It's 3-1, 3-1, 3-1. I'm happy for you. I'm excited for you. I just think there's a little bit of puppy chess going on. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. And Steelers can't talk because they haven't beat a team that has a win yet, I don't think. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm happy for all the Browns fans out there. Billy, I know, is over the moon and overjoyed. He's had a good weekend, um, with all things considered. So yeah, that's about it. We'll wrap this up here if there's no more questions or comments or concerns. But yeah, the $200 streaming fee is going to be charged from OHSAA to us. So with that said, again, to recap, we are going to keep the $9.99 pay-per-view intact, but we are also going to keep the $9.99 buy one, get them all intact as well. So hopefully we get more people buying these games, knowing that there's a fee that we have to pay, and obviously one of those things. So Brian Rutledge, good friend of mine, Murraysville, great community, used to run a sales route through there. Thanks for chiming in, B, or Randy as I call him. Uh, so yeah, so $9.99, you get all the games. I hope you guys enjoyed it this week. Seems like everybody seemed to enjoy it for the majority of it. And another thing I want to bring, kind of a technical issue. If you are getting a broadcast offline or something, make sure that you're clicking refresh on your on your browser or on your smartphone or whatever device you're using. We're running into a lot of that. Sometimes, as it was explained to us, there's burps in broadband coverage or bandwidth coverage that are based on your provider. So if you're running, if you're on Wi-Fi at home, let's say, and you have your phone and your husband's phone or your daughter's phone or everybody's phones on the same Wi-Fi, and then you're trying to stream television, or you're on the internet, and you're trying to stream a game from us, you might once in a while get a broadcast offline or broadcast interrupted or something like that. It's easier to just hit the refresh button, kind of take a self check on how many things are connected to one device. There's ways if you Google it to set up a separate Wi-Fi channel just for you. Like you just want to go on and watch your games on YSN, you can do that. A lot of people throw in some heat back at us. Um, we had zero outages last week, and I'm proud to say that because it was awesome. We don't get that very often. Zero outages, at least as it's reported to us here on Sunday. Make sure that you're doing a reset on your if you get a broadcast offline, and if there is a technical issue, obviously refunds we will distribute it on us. But if it's a you issue, and I don't want to say like point fingers, if it's a you issue, you're not getting any money back. No, we want to make it right. But the reality is we can't control your internet. We just can't. It's impossible. I'm glad we can. That's not a situation I want to be in. So make sure if you are getting some broadcast interruptions during our broadcast or during the game or even during our shows, make sure you're hitting the refresh button. Um, and if it still doesn't happen, then bring it to us or call or text or email or drop us messages or put a comment on our stream. Then we can address it. So just something that not everybody knows that we're kind of learning on the fly too. So yeah, I appreciate it. So again, we will have I think 20 games coming up on Friday and Saturday this week, and not to mention the non-playoff games that we'll have as well. I know East Palestine is hitting the road playing Ashtabula St. John's this week on Friday, so we'll have that game for you as well. Billy McCartney saying, please, please, please support your local schools this week. It's about the playoffs. Um, go all YSN schools. That a boy, Billy. Way to be a company guy. Appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, go really. We root for all the schools. I know we make picks and try to make things funny on Friday, but we're rooting for all the YSN schools. We really are. There's no doubt in my mind that if when schools go to the championship and state championships, we're going to be following them. So proud to be doing what we do, proud to be doing it for you. And I'm proud of the team that we've assembled here. And again, if you'd like to join or you'd like to be a sponsor or chip in for the playoffs or just go to ysnlive.com and there's a whole toolbar of what you can do, whether you want to be a sponsor, whether you want to join our team. You can just get in contact with us and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. So Appreciate everybody's support. Appreciate what you do. Appreciate you spending some time. Um, got some great schools repping right now. Three moms on here. Well, hey, you know where all the power is, right? It's the power is always through the mom. So really cool, really cool. So we'll call it a night about 8:25. Hopefully you guys can go and gals can go enjoy the rest of the Monday Night Football experience. I think Philly's on, Philly and San Fran. So um, enjoy that experience. And as always, tomorrow we got more games for you. I know I've got Wellsville and Beaver Local volleyball. So that's going to be a great game. We had a great game with East Liverpool and Salem on Saturday. You guys can always run that back on Facebook. So appreciate where you're at. Appreciate where everything's headed. Love all you guys. Thank you for the support, especially for me and my team as we continue to, as Todd Thorne says, brick by brick, grow this thing and build a foundation that Youngstown can be proud of. So for now, that's it. Have a good night, and we'll see you guys all tomorrow.